I mean, the map of London, as I see it now here, is completely different from the map of London I had in my mind. Like this Big Ben, I would have put where the Tower Bridge was. The Tower Bridge I would have put here. The London Eye I would have put on the other side. I would have even put the Gherkin on the other side. And overall, nothing makes sense. Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to another episode where we are traveling the world using Google Maps Street View imagery. In front of you, you see a map of London. That I don't have to explain much. There are many ways to get through London, and most Londoners would probably say the tube is the best way. Well, today I'm going to show you a better way. A way that, with the right equipment, would be quicker, and a way that is nicer. We will be getting through London by boat. By through London, I don't mean from one edge of the city to the other. Well, I mean that, but not administratively. Because, our footage doesn't go so far, but okay. We will be going from here, near Woolwich, which, there are high rises in the background, but okay, we are kind of at the outskirts, let's say. We're actually not. I mean, London goes on a little bit longer that way. But anyway, we'll be going all the way this way. And if we wanted to reach the very administrative border of London, it'll be something between 40 and 50 kilometers. I am doubting that I'm gonna make it so far. Even in the most optimistic calculations, I would be making 1 kilometer a minute. So that would be almost 50-minute long video. And I don't know, so it's gonna be a little bit of a, last man standing kind of video. But let's see. Let's see how far we come. Oh yeah, London baby. Here we come on our own, private. Yeah, I mean, calling this a yacht is a bit stupid, but on our own private boat. All right. So many adventures ahead of us. Maybe we should take a deep breath. This is so exciting. In all honesty, to me, the part where we are now and the part that will come after the very city center or City of London is more exciting, but okay. I'm sure that Tower Bridge, the Shard, the London Eye, what's the other thing called? Big Ben, Westminster Abbey, all these things are great sights, sure. But what about this? I mean, that's magnificent. Very magnificent. The water looks a bit muddy, okay, but kind of clear. Not a single natural cloud in the sky. These are all from planes by like some fuel that is being dropped from a plane, I guess. And not, as some of you may believe, chemtrails. I'm not gonna open this debate now. I'm rather admiring these nice old cranes. And I think, if my memory serves me right, which it probably doesn't, one of the first most interesting places I'm gonna come across will be Canary Wharf, which is not very interesting from a, urbanist point of view for someone who cares about the city or cities. But, we should be having something to see there. It is also, of course, that, here's some kind of mini beach. It looks like things you would never see otherwise. And here is some kind of stand. So, I mean, were there not the Olympics in London, so that on the Thames River, or Thames River, there would have been some competitions. So, well, I don't know, maybe not here, but somewhere else. But yeah, this is very much fun. Also here, from 2013 is the footage already, which is very old. Very old. Has anyone of you seen the Tom Scott video where he is inside the Tower Bridge, or the Tower of London, on the Tower Bridge, or the Tower of London? It stands on a bridge that is named after it, where it shows when and how this bridge is being opened for passing through boats, like sailboats with like a pretty high mast. Very interesting. Is another beach filled with loads of seagulls. Oh yeah, the beautiful city that London is lays ahead of us. This is really like one of the more straightforward videos, which is usually nice and nicer for me to do because I don't have to wiggle around and explain lots of things. Everyone has heard London, but maybe not everyone has seen London by boat. And if anything, maybe you'll learn steel and mesh plant. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two about London together with me, which would be lovely. Lovely indeed, mate. Fancy a cuppa? No, I'm not in the mood for tea. I'm in the mood for traveling. Do you also have the problem sometimes that when you go on holidays or somewhere, you're actually just going to another big city? Why would it be a problem? It isn't, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's also strange to call that traveling. So like city hopping, but this is just such a stupid word. Here's a little change, like it looks like some underground mud has been just, pushed up from the ground somehow. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. These waters I don't trust, even though it's probably very shallow here. And here where you see the darker green line, it's a bit digged out for boats. Just like my yacht here. This is new to me. This looks like it's a cable car. Oh my god, it's very high. This is something I didn't know, but it's probably famous. I just didn't know it. Oof. How high would that be? 20 meters? Perhaps higher. Pretty wild. I mean, the question is also, to me, this is not particularly in the city center, so is this used by tourists? And if so, why? Because what can you see from up there that you cannot see from down here? Because otherwise it's just a kind of, I guess, a cheaper way of getting from across the bridge, because there's not so much... there's no bridge across the water, because there's no bridge. But this is pretty cool. I had no idea. This tent building there, on the other hand, is probably more famous. And in a second, I should be able to tell you what it is. It's the O2 Arena. I guess more for concerts, for concerting. It's very wide here, the river. Also has these side canals, which I think are more industrially used. Here's where a boat depot, where all the boats go to sleep, for my younger audience. Oh yeah, and now we are turning here. I mean, the O2 Arena is a kind of a turning point. Plot of land that was probably undesirable back in the days, but now is of course one of the most expensive you can imagine. To live here, even with this view on the water, I mean, how much would that be in a month? I don't want to know, I want to enjoy it. Yeah, the nice thing about these kind of journeys, which is kind of the water equivalent to the journeys where I'm just traveling along a road through a city, is that I don't have to turn so much, I don't have to zoom so much, I don't have to think all the time where I am. I can just really go for it. I just had to think about this kind of architecture. Why is it curved in this way? And the answer is probably... Well, I thought the answer would be so that everyone has a view to the water, but if it was just on the water, that would still be the case. So I guess it's just architecture. You know, as one says it sometimes about art, it's just art. It's just architecture. There's some older houses. They look pretty cool. But even living here, which would probably be nice, you are very far away from the city center if you are still young and you need the city center as a sort of point of reference. Here we have again one of these structures that was also to be found in one of my previous videos. I forgot which. Definitely I know that they also exist in Milan, but they also exist all over places. And I'm still not entirely sure what they are used for. Maybe someone from the audience can finally enlighten me and tell me. Is this for plants to grow? Oh, I think this is for like... But okay, there are never actually plants growing, so it's probably some other industrial use. It's not even like, it's the kind of thing that either you know or you don't know, and if you don't know and you want to find out, it's not so easy. Except you find one on the map and find out what the name of these things is, or for these structures generally. Now all of this looks pretty nice to me. These kind of warehouses here, which I guess was a former factory, maybe for selling fish, who knows. Look very nice. It also looks very calm from the water, which is something I did hope for. Though in a way on the water you're kind of free, and even though as you get closer to the city center we will see that there are loads of boats, you know, it's still somehow, at least here, a big river that flows calmly and steadily, almighty, on one side to the ocean, on the other into the fields. I think one thing I'm also looking forward, now that I think about it, is that at some point, which might be sooner than later, actually I don't think so, we will make a turn that will give us a proper view on the London skyline. But this would be after Canary Wharf, where we still haven't been. But maybe there in the background it's coming. I'm not such an expert of London, but I have been there. This is 10 years ago, maybe. I don't think I've did anything other than the usual It was very nice though. I think I bought my first Converse there, the low tops, which was a mistake in hindsight, but okay. This is very cool. You know, everyone talks about the Barbican and stuff, but this is very nice. I think the idea is here that, you know, everyone has access to the air, to the water, but also has their own balcony, which you really achieve with these kind of terraced houses. And you know, nowadays in architecture, now that I get into it, such ideas are sold to clients as like, this is the newest, greatest. But this, you know, is some decades old, and, you know, everything has already been made. It's just getting reinterpreted and modernized, which is great because, like, that's how it works in science too. Someone does A, and you look at A and make it B, and you develop things forward. So it is in architecture as well. There's a discourse, and you move forward with it. You take it somewhere else. You explore the boundaries. What's this? Cutty Sark. Old Royal Navy College. Looks pretty damn cool to me. Looks like a postcard view. If you just imagine this, maybe with this in the background from the other side, that would be pretty nice. But okay, I have to definitely talk less if I want to get anywhere. This is already quarter of an hour here, and I'm still digging up the mud in the outskirts of London. Popular bowling or rowing club. You know, I always wonder with these street view images that I know I'm on the water here and like, what am I expecting? But it looks so damn quiet. Like there are no rowers in front of the rowing club. There are hardly any pedestrians I can see. And I just wonder why that is the case. Is this all taken in the morning? Is this on a Sunday afternoon, on a holiday? Like, I'm sure Google has their times, but are they always true for each and every place? Because it more often than not looks empty, which I guess makes sense if you want to record in peace and freely. So, that's what I was talking about. There in the background you have the Shard, the London, the Norman Foster building. I don't know its real name, but I will call it the Gherkin. I think that it has a name like, I don't know, 68 Melrose Street or something. Like not this, but like a sort of like a an address as a name, but I might be very wrong there. Maybe we will find out. I was also so relieved that this existed in London, because otherwise I would have to think about a very complicated way of getting through London. I mean, maybe I could have taken the tube. I don't know, but this just makes it so much nicer. It's definitely getting a little more built up, although not crazily. And I don't know, in my memory the river wasn't as wide in the very city center, but I guess I was smaller if it was 10 years ago, however not entirely a child. Well, you know, with memories, it is always so that maybe you remember something, but you remember a detail wrong or something is off. Like you remember things the way you wanted them to be, or the way you know, the memory tricks you sometimes, and you know, kind of fill the gaps. What do we have here? A house with a outer structure for balconies that is a bit expressionistic, and somehow the lower you live, the smaller your balcony. Which I guess makes sense. So, and if we think this through, then the top apartments should be bigger because these are maybe then apartments for, you know, students or singles or something like this. So the higher you live, maybe you live with a family of some kind. This is nice. I like this round blob. I mean, many houses here are nice. And even the shard looks nice from here. Can you imagine? But yeah, the Thames is really twisting here. More terraced houses. I mean, loads of houses. This riverside so far have been quite nice. I feel like a little bit as if, maybe I'm entirely wrong, but as if architects who build on the riverside have a little bit more freedom with the forms they use. Like, it's maybe not so constricted as a plot just somewhere in the city because you have to work with the water and architects want to, look, another one of these things, want to make the water visually accessible. And yeah, I don't know, they're just interesting forms to play around with. Really, like all these houses, I mean, I don't know how old this is, maybe it's old. It looks a bit like, I don't know, some houses I've seen in Liverpool or something. But anyway, they remind me of a Captain Kidd. Of a time when London was like a, you know, a place for trades, for shipping goods, for, you know, industrial people, like a marketplace with honest brick houses and you know, people selling fish and people coming from Tashkent selling saffron to you. Like, I don't know, like a trading place, like a big medieval city. And these houses kind of remind me of that, of London. Because nowadays I think of it as like very clean, which is probably like a very, you know, I guess if you're in the city center, like an Marylebone, something. Yeah, sidewalks are clean, very neat and tidy and. But yeah, I will stop this blabbering for a while and say hello, Tower of London. Hello, Tower Bridge. For me, you don't have to open. I'm not very high. Well, in terms of height. So here is this gherkin of a house, which the garden at 120. Sky Garden, monument to the big fire of London. Let's go a bit further. Butler's Wharf. I had no idea that we are that much in the city center. Also look at this majestic block here. Like, I don't know about you, but I find this building very cool. Also this with the little chimney. Okay, but let's get through here before someone's spitting on our face, on our head from the bridge. And yeah, let's figure it out then. So we have just crossed the Pool of London. I have no idea where Canary Wharf was. Should I go back? I'll probably just make a mistake of some kind. So it was there on the right where I said... Yeah, I don't even know what I said. It doesn't look very interesting from here. So let's ignore it forever. Concentrate on what we have at hand. Here is... Well, this shows you how old this is. I mean, there are probably loads of houses missing as well from the skyline. And what kind of battleship is laying here? This is the city of London. Why are you putting your battleships here? Or maybe this is a museum actually. HMS Belfast. Yeah, it's probably always there. Is it the HMS Belfast? Who knows? But the Shard is here. But okay. This is the walkie-talkie that's being built. And there is the cucumber. 30 St. Mary X. 30 St. Mary X. Yeah, I was... Oh, X, I don't know. I was right. It had like a address as a name. This is a new interpretation of our old terraced houses here. And I don't know, I'm tempted. On one hand, I want to be like I could start rambling on about each and every building that I see, but on the other hand, should I? Or should I filter my thoughts a bit more? But are they gonna be more interesting then? I don't think so. But yeah, it's difficult. It seemed very quick to me, however, how quick we got to the city center. But I think there's loads to come. Things that are probably more interesting than the Tower Bridge, so I'm just speculating, counting on the architects that built in London to have provided me with some beauties. Pedestrian bridge and a bridge for the... I don't know, some other bridge. Some kind of stuff in the water. This building looks cool as well. What's that? JP Morgan Victoria Embankment. Unilever House Global Headquarters. Yeah, not so happy with this answer, but anyway. There's the London Eye, which I could have sworn is on the other side, on our right side. Starboard, I think, as I had to learn the hard way in the Allure of the Seas video. Hard way because I was just calling it right side, which I found a little embarrassing, but okay. Don't think you would mind so much. I would be curious to know if it took our boat longer or shorter than me to click through. That would be very interesting to know. Here we know the time. So it is 10:35. Yeah. Well, 10:35 in the morning. And probably it's a weekday. Maybe we find the date somewhere else. So that like most Londoners would be at work. Maybe it is also not... Well, it's August. Okay. Most Londoners would be at work. Or like not only Londoners. People would be at work. So tourists would be by themselves. But maybe it is a little bit too early for them. Maybe the time was strategically planned. Meticulously planned. Or maybe it is all just a big coincidence. I mean, the map of London, as I see it now here, is completely different from the map of London I had in my mind. Like this Big Ben, I would have put where the Tower Bridge was. The Tower Bridge I would have put here. The London Eye I would have put on the other side. I would have even put the Gherkin on the other side. And overall, nothing makes sense. I mean, it is fair to say that, this is old footage. Are you waiting for me? No. It is old footage, but what is our boat doing? Was this our boat? What a misery. I've just lost my boat. I found it again. So, since I found it again, we can admire the beauty of that is the Palace of Westminster. What is this Palace of Westminster? Are you wasting taxpayers' money there? St. Thomas Hospital with a view on the water. Very nice, probably a private hospital. If not, let me know. And yeah, the Big Ben. Hello, Big Ben. Hello. Hello, young man. How are you, Ben? Very well, my dear, very well. Yeah, I think my physical decay is starting around the 30-minute mark. Although I'm doing pretty well so far, I would say. What is this? This looks wild. Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. A city like any other from the water. This could be easily in Dubai. I mean, this looks just so... Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, I kind of like it, but if I would learn that this is just design and there's no actual use to these things, I would like it less. I'm a functionalist. Everything has to have a use as well. And the use can also be aesthetic, but somehow I want to understand why, or where this comes from. Like, it definitely doesn't look particularly British, but of course, it's a very international city. Isn't it so that it is always said, this looks so nice. It is always said that there's a person from every country in the world in London at all times. That's how international it is. And amongst them, even some Scottish people. Well, this looks very, very tall. Yeah. Very green, very nice, very calm, very beautiful. But was that it? London? I thought we were going to London, baby. And now we have to deal with Churchill Gardens here. I mean, on the map it looks like there's a massive street, but now that I'm here it looks like quite relaxed, dispersed, calm. Residential area. Super green. I mean, sometimes when urban planners or architects say, or like make a map and there's something green on the map and they're like, yeah, there's a park, there's greenery, good air quality, what not, and then you are as a person standing there and it's actually just like some kind of random trees like these, or like a piece of lawn, or like some kind of bush for people to pee in, and it doesn't actually have any quality even though it is greenery. It's very frustrating. So like when we talk about greenery, we have to talk about quality of greenery, and when we talk about housing, we have to talk about quality of housing. And when we talk about water, we have to talk about quality of water. Like all these resources come in different qualities, and the quality is very relevant. I think Londoners will know very well in what kind of terrible apartments one can live, and they know very well the difference between a good park and a nice bit of water and the Thames and the city center. On our right is Chelsea. Here, this house. Let's see what other famous Battersea is on our left, I think. Wouldn't really mean much to you, I guess, from here. Here it looks like maybe there's some houseboats. Look at this window here. But maybe these aren't. I mean, I guess some of them are. And why wouldn't they be? I mean, you live nice here. It's kind of a nice place to put a houseboat, if you ask me. This building slopes down massively, which is cool. Like, the question here that I have is that if this building wouldn't slope down, you had so and so many more, I don't know, apartments or office spaces or whatever it is, by using the same footprint. Now that it does slope down, you have less of it, but it kind of looks more... Not to say it looks nice, but it looks like something at least, you know? It looks like something. It does something to you. It's not just a random block, it's a little bit of something. So you're compromising valuable space for this little bit of something, which is great. And it's great that some architects think the same way, or are allowed to do that, because when a developer has a plot in London, I'm sure it is not very easy to make something there that comes out nice. You have to, I don't know, maybe you want to, of course, maximize the returns on your investment, but I don't know, you also want to provide something, maybe, if you have a good heart, I mean, maybe some developers have a good heart, I don't know. You want to provide something appealing to the people and to future clients. These houses here I don't like. However, these on the left, pretty cool stuff, I would say. Pretty cool stuff. This looks a little bit like the handle of a sword, if you think this would be hollow. Is it a British thing that people give nicknames to the buildings, like the gherkin, the walkie-talkie, or the, I don't know, icicle for the shard? I don't actually know if someone says icicle. Or is it just that these buildings have these iconic shapes and people make these names up? Or is it all planned and the architects call it already the gherkin, so that people would be more sort of like colloquially talking about it and be more accepting of it? But who actually knows? And who knows where we are? I'm getting a little bit, after I guess this bridge, in the zone where I'm like, how far am I going to go? Yeah, how far am I going to go? And the answer for that, I don't really know. I do enjoy this greenery here. Maybe for you it's a little bit boring. Well, for all I know is that at some point the Thames or this river should be curving southbound again, so we should make a left turn the way we look at it, and from there it kind of flows down until it eventually leaves London, like, you know. Oh, hello, Swarnies. Finally some living thing. Oh, it's astonishingly empty trip. Yeah, and when it does that, I'm like really in the zone of where I could stop, because like, yeah, it's still gonna be nice things, but this is a trip of London. More or less of the city center of London, not necessarily of the city of London, of the bigger city of London, which doesn't make sense, of the city center of London on the water. So I don't wanna Furniture Harris Depositor or Harros. Very cool. Very nice. It looks a bit abandoned, which it might very well be. Certainly not forever. Either it will be taken down or it will be renewed. But renewing it, putting it into a functional state of existence with a new use, it's of course way more expensive. But people are so nostalgic about these old buildings, and rightly so. They're very nice. And anyway, it's the mixture that makes a good city, huh? A mixture of different things, different people, different architectures. That's why we like cities. We're confronted with different realities of thinking. Well, I want to speak for myself. That's why I like cities. London, I guess, would be a bit too much for me. I personally have to say that I find something between 500,000 and 1,000,000 quite pleasant. Like, you get all the sort of vibes of a big city. You also get, and not too far traveling, some small town vibes, which is nice. So here's a long curve. A long curve, a long way down. Oh, St. Mary, it's a long way down. Are we actually... Did we always go backwards? And did we always have this catamaran thing? I have no idea. Very interesting. Maybe I should make a rule for myself to not travel backwards, but go with the flow. So it's kind of irritating. If I would go forward, I would always have calm water in front of me. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of swimming against the stream. But of course it doesn't really make a difference. Ah. Stop fooling me, Mr. Boat Driver. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think the Q bridge will be my drop-off point. Because this... We will make one circle, one half circle, or a quarter of a circle. Again. Because I remember the Q bridge, because I have postponed this video a little bit just because I was shying away from the responsibility of addressing London, all the things I could say wrong, and now I probably did. But more so because of the length of the journey, and like I couldn't really put it together, and I think I still haven't. Like, it's nicer if you say from lighthouse to lighthouse, or from Hilton to Hilton through London by boat or something. At least in my opinion, if there's a little bit of a thing you set out to do or to achieve, which is not the case here. No, there was someone on my boat. Who are you, mister? Show yourself. Okay, whatever. Oh! Hello, mister. Thank God, he was blurred out, otherwise I would have to do it again. There are these rowers that were missing upstream. Yeah, so that's why I kind of put it as a, yeah, exploring last man standing, let's see how far we come kind of video. And it's probably fine. I mean, the intended use, maybe I should say this once and for all, the intended use for these videos is that for you to watch while you're cooking, for you to watch while you're doing something else, a little bit of ambient entertainment, you know. I expect of no one to watch them in full concentration, you know, typing their fingers wound, commenting on every little stupid thing I say. So I think it's not so important that I have these kind of special approaches to a city. Rather, if I have some sort of idea like I had now here, or a few weeks ago, then it's a bit better. Grove Park on our right, and should have put a bridge counter on, but not in London. I have already noticed this on my research that based on the size of London, I somehow feel that London doesn't have very many bridges. And I remember that there was a video by this London-based comical geography channel. I think his name is J, then something. And he was making a video about the London bridges. And in this video, it became somehow clear that there have always been more ideas for more bridges. There have been maybe more bridges, but yeah, somehow now there are less, and it's fine. And anyway, how many do you need? Like, I don't think you need so much more in the city center. It's just like I'm traveling a whole lot of time without crossing a bridge, underpassing a bridge. Well, and I have basically, I'm gonna go a little bit further because I think there's some nature. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Nice housing. Well, I don't know if if it has some kind of elements, I already consider it somewhat nice. Um, this is also pretty cool. Very much, I guess, garden city inspired. This, you know, urban concept. Oh, something abandoned here. That's so nice. If I was a little boy, I would probably, from here, try to swim here, and my mother would tell me, no, be careful, it's dangerous. And it probably is. Oh, there's a plane even, which I think is a, I don't know, is it 777 or A340? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I think here by these shipwrecks, I finally give up. I quit. I'm done. I have had enough. And I thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. A little bit. I certainly did. And I see you next time. Bye.